This is Martin Zubimendi. He has won the UEFA Nations League, Euros, and Spanish Super Cup. He's even been hailed as one of the best midfielders in the world by various football legends. And guess what? The accolades don't end there. Everyone wants him, with big clubs like Barcelona, Liverpool, and Arsenal all circling and interested in the midfield maestro. Arsenal particularly have been obsessed with Zubimendi, with Arteta chasing him for more than 4 years now. And this gets even better. Arsenal have just splashed the cash and agreed an absolutely insane deal to sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad. They've activated his €60 million release clause, so the midfield maestro will now be heading to London to play in red and white. But wait, not everyone is a fan of this deal. They are worried he doesn't run around breaking tableware like Caicedo, and he isn't big and strong like Declan Rice, so they don't get why on earth Arsenal will sign a guy whose highlight reel looks like it's buffering with endless sideways and backwards passes. This question has given me numerous sleepless nights. I've spent hours, days, weeks, and months trying to figure out the answer to this mind-boggling question.
One eternity later.
But on one fateful day, oh yes, one day, that day, it finally hit me. I couldn't believe it. Let me reveal Arsenal's sinister master plan for Martin Zubimendi, something I've just uncovered. This deal should absolutely terrify you and every rival, because this signing transforms Arsenal into something utterly and unapologetically evil. Martin Zubimendi Ibanez was born on the 2nd of February 1999 in San Sebastian, Basque Country, Spain. You see, San Sebastian might just be the most beautiful place on earth. It's a seaside jewel where mountains meet the sea. It's elegant, sun-drenched, and slow-paced, with golden beaches, cobbled streets, and food that tastes like poetry. Time here drifts like a love song. Zubimendi grew up here. You see, family is a strong part of Basque identity, and so is the religion of football. Because of this love for football, Zubimendi joined Real Sociedad's academy, Zubieta, as a youngster. At Zubieta, Zubimendi and his friends were enrolled in various academic classes from mathematics to logic and reasoning and even English language. But this Zubieta way is written all over Zubimendi's game. He's immensely calm under pressure, selfless in possession, and he always puts the team first. His game reflects the values he grew up with. The guy doesn't chase the spotlight, instead he prefers to do the hard work quietly. That's Zubieta. At Arsenal, Zubimendi would sit in a double pivot off the ball and would be partnering Declan Rice in the middle of the park. Rice's vigorous, confrontational and swashbuckling approach to football will be nicely complemented by Zubimendi's calmer, measured and more methodical approach. This double pivot will work wonders in the Premier League. One fire, the other ice. One yin, the other yang, dovetailing into a perfect partnership. I mean, I would even take this opportunity to go one step further by claiming that Arteta might be trying to recreate the legendary Gerrard Alonso dynamic. Now hear me out. Steven Gerrard was the all-action midfielder, the wild animal, roaming box to box. Xabi Alonso was the brain of that Liverpool team. He was orchestrating the entire build-up and phasal progression. He was the team's heartbeat, setting the rhythm for their attacks and slowing things down when necessary. He already has the all-action midfielder akin to Stevie G in Declan Rice. Rice is incredible. His displays at the Advanced 8 last season showed you that he is indeed elite. But you see, Rice needs a partner in crime, a Robin to his Batman stature. This, I think, is why Zubimendi is being signed. Zubimendi is a metronome. A metronome is a device that produces a steady, regular ticking sound or beat to help musicians keep a consistent tempo while practicing or performing music.
I like to be like
So how does this all relate to football? Well, look, a metronome doesn't just make music. It doesn't improvise and it doesn't shine. It clicks at a constant, reliable, steady pace. The moment the metronome is gone, even great musicians can rush or drag the tempo. Applied to football, Zubimendi is a metronome in midfield. What people who watch him without this insight don't understand is that he's not there to create chaos. Oh, no. In fact, he's there to stabilize it. When pressure comes, his job isn't to dribble or take risks. His job is to take 1 or 2 touches and reset the rhythm of play while sustaining the attack. He is the invisible force, positioned centrally and always available for his teammates as a point of reference. The team's stabilizer, its chief recycler. He makes things predictable, and in the brutally unpredictable sport of professional football, that is golden. But predictable doesn't mean mundane. Zubimendi's passing is what makes him elite. His short passing isn't just safe, it's constructive. He plays sharp 1 and 2 touch combinations that keep the ball flowing and his team in sync. He forms triangles, opens lanes and rarely gets caught even in tight spaces. This clarity under pressure comes from endless repetition of drills like rondos. This guy plays head tennis. For Zubimendi, every short pass has a purpose. Every touch is part of a bigger pattern. He already has a mental picture of what he wants to do before the ball even reaches his feet. In Euro 2024, he had a 97% passing accuracy over the entire competition, completing 106 of his 112 attempted passes. He plays rondo football, just at high speed, under real pressure and with everything on the line. While not known for his Hollywood passes, Zubimendi also uses switches and diagonals with surgical precision. He'll patiently wait for the ideal moment before hitting a crisp diagonal to the far flank. Xabi Alonso, his mentor, was a master of these pings, and while Zubimendi isn't as good as the former Zubieta man himself, he certainly emulates his master in a satisfactory way. These aren't highlight-chasing passes, they're tactical tools. None of this is about flair, it's about function. Oh, but he's not just about fancy switches too, He can also thread the eye of the needle. His incisive passes break lines and are devastatingly effective. Rather than forcing the ball under pressure, he waits for the right moment. He often splits the opposition first or second line with vertical passes into the feet of the advanced attackers to launch the attacks. Check this out. In 2024-2025 season, Zubimendi averaged 17.2 forward passes per game, surpassing the likes of Moises Caicedo and even Gravenberch. Keep in mind that Gravenberch has been one of the best holding midfielders in the world this past year. This skill to thread the needle is critical to how Arsenal want to play because Jorginho was the master of this in the final third and they would be losing him. This was one of Jorginho's greatest strengths at his peak, controlling tempo while finding those disguised line-breaking passes that few midfielders can see. With Zubimendi, Arsenal will be getting a direct replacement, but one with a younger engine, more mobility, and the same brain for control and progression. But passing is just the tip of the iceberg. Zubimendi can dribble and is pretty press resistant. He uses sharp touches and subtle movements to glide past pressure, not to beat players for show, but to open up lanes and maintain control in high-stake arenas. One of his underrated traits is how ambipedal he is. He's comfortable receiving and shifting the ball with either foot. This widens his angles under pressure and makes him harder to trap. It gives him that split-second edge and split-second advantage in tight zones where most players would panic. He pivots out calmly and continues the rhythm, and when space does open up, he doesn't hesitate. Zubimendi can burst into pockets between the lines or carry the ball into midfield when the opposition line is disorganized. I love the way he carries the ball. But don't just think this is some fancy Spaniard who passes well and has twinkle toes. Zubimendi is a combat machine. His physiology perfectly complements his playing style. He's stocky and compact with well-developed and strong thighs. This powerful lower body makeup gives him excellent balance and the ability to hold his ground in physical duels. Last season alone, his ground duel success rate was 51%, putting him alongside guys like Declan Rice at 54% and Rodri at 55%. And when his team is without the ball, he can win it back cleanly. He's disciplined and has a disciplined approach to tackling, with Zubimendi preferring precise, well-timed interventions over reckless challenges. His ability to read the game allows him to disrupt opposition play effectively without resorting to frequent fouling. But he's even more formidable when you realize that heading is one of Zubimendi's most underrated traits. At 5'11", he's not towering, but he's far from small, and he uses every inch of his frame with intelligence and timing. He reads the flight of the ball well, times his jump smartly, and isn't afraid of physical duels. But don't take my word for it. His aerial duel success rate is 61%, which is statistically higher than even Declan Rice's at 45%. And this makes him one of the world's best midfielders at heading the ball. Crazy, isn't it? You know his strengths are prominent, but like every footballer, Zubimendi has weaknesses too. The first real one I've identified is that he needs to improve his shooting from long range. As a defensive midfielder, Zubimendi currently doesn't pose enough threat from outside the box, and Arsenal often face compact low blocks, so improving his shooting would provide asymmetric returns. With Xabi Alonso, his mentor, known for his shooting, Zubimendi has a role model to emulate here. In the 2023-24 season, Zubimendi scored 4 goals, with none of them coming from outside the box. His average shooting distance was 14 yards, shorter than the 20-yard average of Liverpool's midfielders. The second real weakness is his inability to cover large spaces. He's not the quickest or most dynamic runner, so covering extensive ground or playing end-to-end is not his thing. Zubimendi relies on being protected. He relies on compact midfield structures, and Arsenal have this style. Remember how Xhaka was exposed under Unai Emery for similar limitations, but Arteta's superior system covered such flaws and made them far less noticeable? Well, Zubimendi is more athletic than Xhaka, so I'm not really expecting him to struggle here. So, here's the gist of it all. Alongside Declan Rice, he will form a double pivot that dominates, blending steel with subtlety. And with time, under the right guidance, he can polish the few rough edges in his game. This guy has Arsenal DNA written all over him.